Every bridge you cross. Every building you enter. Every road you travel. Someone built it. Not machines. Not corporations. Not abstract forces of history. People. Individual human beings who came to work each day, applied their hands and minds to raw materials, and transformed the world. We know the names of the architects. We remember the industrialists. We study the inventors. But the faces in these photographs, the riveters, the welders, the laborers, the craftsmen, these are largely forgotten. Anonymous. Uncredited. Yet without them, there would be no modern world. No skyscrapers piercing the clouds. No bridges spanning impossible distances. No roads connecting continents. No infrastructure supporting billions of lives. Today, we honor these faces. We examine these photographs not as historical curiosities, but as documents of profound human achievement. These are the people who built everything we take for granted. This is their story. Chapter 1: The Hands That Raised Steel. The American skyline as we know it was built between 1920 and 1940. During these 20 years, men, almost exclusively men, worked at heights that still inspire vertigo today. This photograph has become famous. 11 men sitting on a steel beam, eating lunch, 840 feet above the streets of Manhattan during the construction of Rockefeller Center in 1932. Look at their posture. Relaxed. Casual. As if they're sitting in a park rather than balanced on an 8-inch wide beam with nothing beneath them but air and death. These men were primarily immigrants. Irish, Italian, Mohawk ironworkers from Canada. They came to America seeking opportunity and found themselves building the very symbol of American ambition, the skyscraper. Most earned between $4 and $5 a day. Roughly $70 in today's currency. For work that could kill them in an instant. Here we see a riveting crew. For men working in perfect synchronization. The heater, who heated rivets in a portable forge until they glowed red. The catcher, who caught the thrown rivet in a metal cone. The bucker-up, who held the rivet in place. And the riveter, who drove it home with a pneumatic hammer weighing over 30 pounds. Look at this man's face. He's perhaps 30 years old, though the work has aged him. His eyes are focused, professional. This is skilled labor of the highest order. One mistake, a rivet placed incorrectly, a beam misaligned, could compromise the entire structure. Could kill the workers above. Could eventually kill the building's occupants. The noise was deafening. The heat from the forge, unbearable. The danger, constant. Yet these men took pride in their work. They signed their names on beams before they were covered. They left messages for future generations, knowing their work would outlast them. This solitary figure guides a multi-ton steel beam into position. He communicates with the crane operator hundreds of feet above using hand signals. One wrong signal, one misunderstood gesture, and the beam could swing wildly, crushing him instantly. There are no safety harnesses in most of these photographs. No hard hats, those weren't required until the 1970s. No safety regulations as we understand them. Just skill, courage, and an acceptance of risk that modern workers would find incomprehensible. When the building was complete, these men moved to the next project. Their names appear nowhere on the structure they created. No plaques. No credits. Just the work itself, standing as testament to their skill. Between 1920 and 1940, approximately 5 men died for every $1 million spent on construction. Translated to today's costs, that's roughly 1 death per major building. These were not abstractions. They were men with families, with dreams, with lives that ended in service of progress. Chapter 2, The Builders of Connection. The modern world is connected by roads and bridges that require decades to build and millions of hours of human labor. The Golden Gate Bridge. Completed in 1937 after 4 years of construction. When you see the finished structure, elegant and seemingly effortless, it's easy to forget that human beings built it. By hand. In fog. In wind. Suspended above water that would kill them in minutes from cold alone. These men are spinning the main cables. Each cable contains 27,572 individual wires. Each wire had to be carefully positioned, tensioned, and secured. The work required climbing to the top of the towers, 746 feet above the water, then working your way down, wire by wire. Look at these hands. Calloused, scarred, powerful. These are the hands that literally held civilization together. The hands that gripped steel in winter winds, that tied knots that would bear thousands of tons, that operated tools that could maim or kill with one slip. 11 men died building the Golden Gate Bridge. 11 lives in exchange for a structure that has since served hundreds of millions of people. Is that a fair trade? History doesn't answer. It only records the names: Kermit Moore, O.A. Anderson, Chris Anderson, William Bass, Oral Desper, Fred de Matson, Terence Hallinan, Eldridge Hillen, Charles Lindros, Jack Norman, Lewis Russell. The Hoover Dam required 5 million barrels of cement and 7 years of continuous work in the Nevada desert, where summer temperatures exceeded 120 degrees Fahrenheit. These men worked inside tunnels being blasted through solid rock. They breathed rock dust that scarred their lungs. They inhaled carbon monoxide from explosives and vehicles. Many developed silicosis, a fatal lung disease. Officially, 96 workers died during construction. Unofficially, the number is much higher, as deaths from silicosis weren't counted if they occurred after the worker left the site. This man operates a jackhammer in the tunnel. The vibration is so intense it can damage nerves, blood vessels, and bones. The noise is so loud it causes permanent hearing loss. Yet this was considered normal work. Acceptable risk. The price of progress. The interstate highway system, begun in 1956, required moving more earth than was excavated for the Panama Canal. It required building more than 55,000 bridges. It required decades of labor by millions of workers. This crew is laying asphalt in summer heat. The asphalt is heated to over 300 degrees. The work is backbreaking. The fumes are toxic. Most of these men will develop respiratory problems, joint issues, hearing loss. But they show up, day after day, because this is how they provide for their families. Here we see a landscape before and after highway construction. The transformation is total. Mountains moved. Rivers redirected. The scale of alteration is almost geological. Yet every cubic yard of earth was moved by a person operating a machine. Every decision about where to cut and where to fill was made by a human mind. Chapter 3, The Underground Army. Beneath the surface of modern life lies an invisible infrastructure built by people who worked in permanent darkness. These are coal miners in West Virginia, 1946. They've just completed an 8-hour shift, 2,000 feet below the surface. Their faces are black with coal dust except where sweat has cut streams through the grime. They're exhausted. Tomorrow, they'll descend again. Look into these eyes. What do you see? Fatigue, certainly. But also dignity. Pride in skilled, dangerous work. These men were the energy source for industrial civilization. Their labor, extracted in darkness and danger, powered factories, heated homes, ran locomotives, generated electricity. This photograph, taken inside a mine shaft, shows men working in spaces so confined they cannot stand upright. They chip coal from seams while lying on their sides, breathing air thick with dust, always aware that the earth above them is held up only by wooden supports that could fail at any moment. Between 1900 and 1945, approximately 75,000 American coal miners died in mine disasters. Another 200,000 died from black lung disease caused by coal dust inhalation. These numbers don't include injuries, the broken bones, the crushed limbs, the lungs permanently scarred. This image captures rescue workers after a mine explosion. Their expressions tell you everything. They've recovered bodies, not survivors. These disasters were so common that most mining communities had permanent rescue teams. Most mining families expected to lose someone eventually. The New York City subway system, built primarily between 1900 and 1940, required tunneling through rock, under rivers, beneath existing structures. This photograph shows workers inside a tunnel shield, a massive steel cylinder that protected them as they excavated. These men worked in compressed air to prevent water from flooding the tunnels. The increased pressure prevented cave-ins but caused the bends, dissolved nitrogen in blood forming bubbles when pressure was reduced too quickly. The pain was excruciating. Sometimes fatal. Yet this was the accepted method. Sandhogs, the men who dig tunnels beneath cities. This photograph shows a crew in the 1920s. Note their tools, picks, shovels, explosives. They removed rubble in carts pushed by hand. They worked in heat, in cold, in mud, in water, in darkness illuminated only by carbide lamps that could ignite explosive gases. The finished subway station. Clean, well-lit, efficient. Millions pass through such spaces daily, never thinking about the men who dug them from solid rock. Never considering the lives spent, the health destroyed, the families impoverished when workers died or were disabled. Chapter 4, The Factory Floor. The factories that produced modern consumer goods were built on the labor of people working in conditions that tested the limits of human endurance. This is a Ford automobile assembly line in 1927. Each worker performs one specific task, repeated thousands of times per shift. Install this bolt. Tighten that screw. Attach this component. The work is monotonous but requires absolute precision. This man is perhaps 25 years old. He works 10 hours a day, 6 days a week. He performs the same motion approximately 500 times per hour, 5,000 times per day, 30,000 times per week. The repetitive stress will damage his joints, his tendons, his spine. In 20 years, he'll be unable to do this work. But for now, this job feeds his family. Inside a steel mill, circa 1935. The temperature near the furnaces exceeds 2,000 degrees. The workers wear minimal protection, cotton clothing, perhaps a leather apron. Many will suffer severe burns during their careers. All will develop respiratory problems from the smoke and fumes. The textile industry employed hundreds of thousands of women. This photograph shows a cotton mill in Massachusetts, 1912. The women tend spinning machines in rooms kept deliberately hot and humid to prevent thread breakage. The air is thick with cotton fibers that lodge in lungs, causing brown lung disease. She's perhaps 16 years old. She started working at 12. She never attended high school. She'll work until she marries or becomes too sick to continue. Her wages, roughly half what men earned, help support her family. Without her income, they might starve. This difficult photograph shows child workers in a glass factory, 1908. Some are barely 10 years old. They work 12-hour night shifts because glass production never stops. The heat is intense. The danger, constant. Many will be injured. Some will die. All will be robbed of childhood. Child labor laws gradually changed this, but slowly. The photograph is a reminder that much of our industrial infrastructure was built on the backs of children considered expendable by the economic system of their time. Shift change at a factory, 1940s. Thousands of workers stream through the gates. Each face represents a story, of struggle, of perseverance, of small victories and large sacrifices. Together, they represent the industrial working class that built modern prosperity while receiving only a fraction of the wealth they created. Chapter 5, The Invisible Builders. Some builders of the modern world are so essential they became invisible. We see what they built but not who built it. These men maintain the sewer systems beneath cities. They descend into darkness and filth, working in toxic environments that can kill them through disease or asphyxiation. Without them, cities would become uninhabitable within days. Yet their work is so unpleasant we prefer not to think about it, or them. Electrical workers installing high-tension power lines, 1930s. They work with voltages that can kill instantly, at heights that make falls fatal, in weather conditions that make everything more dangerous. One mistake, one moment of inattention, and they die. Yet they built the electrical grid that powers modern civilization. Railroad workers laying track across the American West, 1880s. Many were Chinese immigrants, paid less than white workers, given the most dangerous tasks. They blasted tunnels through mountains using nitroglycerin, so unstable it could explode if looked at wrong. They worked in deserts and blizzards, building the transportation network that unified a continent. This man's expression is stoic, dignified, proud. He knows his work is essential. He also knows that history will largely forget him, will credit others for what he and his countrymen built. An estimated 1,200 Chinese workers died building the Transcontinental Railroad. No one recorded most of their names. Throughout American history, the hardest, most dangerous construction work was done by the most recent immigrants. This photograph from 1910 shows Italian immigrants building the New York City subway. They came seeking opportunity and found exploitation, danger, and prejudice. Yet they stayed. They worked. They built. African American workers on a construction project in the South, 1920s. Segregation meant they were assigned the lowest paying, most dangerous positions. They were excluded from most skilled trades by racist union policies. Yet they built roads, bridges, buildings that stood as monuments to a society that denied them equal rights. World War II brought women into heavy industry in unprecedented numbers. This photograph shows women welding in a shipyard. They proved they could do work previously considered impossible for women. After the war, most were forced out of these jobs, their contributions minimized or forgotten. Behind the welding mask, we see determination. She's doing essential work, building ships that will win the war. She's proving that capability has nothing to do with gender. Yet within a few years, social pressure will push her back into appropriate women's work, lower paid, lower status, less valued. Chapter 6, The Legacy in Their Faces. What do we see when we look into these faces? What do these photographs tell us about the human cost of progress? We see exhaustion. Physical wear from labor that consumed bodies as surely as it consumed materials. We see pride, the satisfaction of skilled work well done, of contributing something permanent to the world. We see resignation, the acceptance that this is life, that survival requires endurance. We see aging accelerated by harsh conditions. Men who look 60 at 40. Women whose hands are permanently bent from repetitive motion. Bodies that bear the marks of industrial civilization like soldiers bear scars of war. But we also see hope. This worker holds his child, and in his eyes we see the reason for the sacrifice. He endures so his children might have better. He accepts danger and exhaustion because that's what providing means. The calculation is simple and terrible, my body for their future. These group photographs reveal something else, solidarity. These people understood they shared risks, shared burdens, shared pride in collective achievement. They knew that their individual contribution was small but that together they were building something massive, something that would outlast them. Here's a former steelworker in retirement, photographed in 1975. His body is broken, back permanently bent, hands gnarled with arthritis, lungs scarred from decades of smoke and fumes. But when asked about his work, he speaks with pride. He helped build America. That meant something. It still means something. Every element of this modern cityscape was touched by human hands. The steel was poured by someone. The concrete was mixed and placed by someone. The glass was installed by someone. The wiring, the plumbing, the roads, the bridges, all of it built by individual human beings whose faces we'll never know. These faces represent millions more we never photographed. The workers who built ancient roads, medieval cathedrals, Renaissance cities. The workers who will build tomorrow's infrastructure. Human progress has always required human labor, human sacrifice, human bodies worn out in service of something larger. Closing sequence. The modern world, our world, was built by these people. Not by titans of industry or visionary architects alone, but by millions of ordinary people who came to work each day and applied their hands, their minds, their strength, their lives to the task of building. They built higher than seemed possible. Deeper than seemed safe. Faster than seemed sustainable. They took risks we now consider insane. They accepted conditions we now consider inhuman. They persevered through what we now consider unbearable. And because of them, we have roads that span continents. Bridges that leap across impossibilities. Buildings that touch clouds. Power that flows at the flip of a switch. Water that arrives clean at our taps. Communication that connects the world. We cannot repay them. Most are long dead. Most died in obscurity, their names unrecorded, their contributions uncredited. But we can remember them. We can look at their faces in these photographs and acknowledge a simple truth: they built this world, and we are living in their creation. Every time you cross a bridge, think of the workers who built it. Every time you enter a tall building, remember the people who raised it. Every time you benefit from infrastructure we take for granted, acknowledge the human cost of its creation. These are the hands that built the modern world. Scarred hands. Calloused hands. Strong hands. Human hands. They deserve to be remembered.